Okay, cool. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to Autogeek Show Car Garage. I'm Mike Phillips. This is my team of people, the transition team. Tonight we have a 1949 Packard Super 88, Super 8 right here. Is that right, David? Over here we got a 67 AC Cobra. Both these cars have swirls. The Packard actually has light swirls. It's got a new paint job. It's been sanded, cut, and buff. It was finished out with the rotary buffer. So we're just going to go. Okay, so we're just going to go. Okay, we're just going to go back in and do some polishing on this to make sure it's 100% swirl free. The Cobra actually has some pretty bad swirls in it, and we're going to have to go in and use a compound to get the swirls out of it, and then we're going to polish it, and then we're going to machine wax both these cars. We're going to try to have this done before 8 o'clock. Because that's our time limit for the 3-hour recording through the software we're using. We're going to be using all DA polishers tonight. If we don't need the rotary, we won't break it out. If we do, we will. We're going to use Hydrotech pads. We're going to use the cyan cutting pad, the tangerine polishing pad. We're going to apply whatever wax we use with the crimson finishing pads. I have the Makita BO6040 over there that someone's going to get a chance to play with. I got Flex 3401s, and then of course I got the Meguiar's G110 V2. I got the Porter Cable 7424 XP, and I got the Griot's Garage 6-inch random orbital polisher. Those are all the same types of tools, just different brands. Anyway, so that's the program for tonight. Now, we've already wiped these cars down using Detailer's rinseless wash and gloss. Got all the light dust off of them. The Cobra, thank you to Pete. Raise your hand, Pete. Pete drove that all the way up from where? Fort Lauderdale in the rain. What a tough guy. So we got all the road grime off that one. And of course this Packard here is garage kept, but it had some light dust, so we went ahead and wiped them down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clay. And when we get started here, I just want to ask for the show of hands. Is there anybody here who's never used detailing clay? Yourself? Gene? How about, have you?
Yes, sir.
You have? Okay, so real quick, we're going to do a clay demonstration over here. For the guys that know how to clay, we really need to clay the Cobra, okay? This thing, if you do the baggy test, and here's the baggy test. Take a clean sandwich baggie, place this on your hand, and right now, if I feel the paint, well, first of all, listen. You hear that? Okay, paint shouldn't make a sound, okay? Shouldn't make any noise at all when you rub your hand on it. And I put my hand on there, it feels like 80 grit sandpaper. So this thing needs to be clayed pretty bad. Now I haven't checked out the Packard yet, but I'm kind of guessing it probably doesn't need to be clay, but let's give it a check here. Oh no, it needs to be clayed. Here, tell us, Jay, just so they don't have to take my word for it. Does that feel smooth or do you feel bumps?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so both cars need to be clayed. So if you know how to clay, grab the clay and go to town. I've got Pinnacle clay lube up here. I got Pinnacle Ultra Poly clay over here. And I'm going to go ahead and show these gentlemen over here that have never clayed how to use a detailing clay.
Which one are you doing that on?
We're going to do it on the Packard. Okay. Is this a good place for me to stand, Yancey, right here? Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to stay here. You can start over here if you want to, Terry. So just real quickly, this is Pinnacle Ultra Poly Clay. This usually comes in what looks like a bar of soap, and you take it out, and usually what I do is I put it between my palms, and I squish it just to get it started, okay? Then I take my thumbs and start kneading this, and what you want to do is you want to knead this into like a pancake, okay? So, and about 4 or 5 inches in diameter. So we just get that kneaded out. Okay, now here's a little tip for using this. It's real simple. When I watch people clay, usually what they do is they'll put this on the car and they'll put their fingers on the clay patty. As you're pushing it without thinking about it, you always put more pressure on your fingertips. You'll push a hole through the clay. It's not a big deal. Stop, re-knead, make your patty. But watch this. If you put your fingertips past the clay, okay, without thinking about it, you put equal pressure over the face of your fingers. You clay till you decide to knead because you won't push a hole through it. So now here's our clay patty. This is a clay lube. What you want to do is you want to spray an ample amount of clay lube down in here, put some onto the clay itself, and then you come down here and it's a fast hand movement. You get this thing just zinging like this, okay? And you go back and forth, circles, write your name, whatever you want to do. The point is just to get whatever contaminants that are on there off there. And when I first started out, I could kind of feel this dragging. Now it's gliding effortlessly. Yes. And then you can turn it over after you've clayed a big enough section, and usually whatever's on the car you're going to see it show up on the clay. Now, say if this had red overspray paint, when we flip this over, you'd see a red tinge on there. So that's how that works. Then after you clay a section, take a clean microfiber towel, wipe that section clean, then you can move on to the next section. And that is how simple claying is. And the benefit to claying is this. One, I think we'd all agree that a good looking finish is a glossy looking finish, correct? Okay, so yeah, so whenever you have contaminants on there, it creates surface texture that diminishes the gloss. The other thing is chemists make car wax to stick to paint. In this case, this is a urethane finish, so they make the wax to stick to urethane. If you have a layer of contaminants on here, the wax can't even get to the paint. And usually what people always ask is, hey, how long will this car wax last? Okay? Well, if it can't get to the paint and bond to it, it ain't going to last very long anyway. So claying restores gloss and enables your choice of wax to stick to the paint. So, and in the old days, in fact, I talked to a guy today, and he says, well, I had some overspray paint on my car, and I used rubbing compound to get it off. Okay, before clay came out, which is the 1990s, that's what we would use is rubbing compound. But here's what rubbing compound does. It puts scratches into the paint, and it takes perfectly good paint off the car. It gets rid of the contaminants, but it does two bad things. Clay fixes the problem without doing anything bad. So that's how it works. Any questions?
Yeah, can you repair what the rubbing compound did to a car?
Yeah, then that would be machine polishing.
Okay.
Yeah, so, okay, so here is some clay, David, and Gene, and Pete. So you can go ahead and start using that one. These other two guys, they got to start kneading theirs. Here you go, clay lube. I got another clay lube right here. But here, yeah, I'll hold on to that. Well, you need that. So there you go.
You're okay with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
I want to take this door.
Okay.
I'll finish it.
How's this one coming out, guys?
There. So tiny, it doesn't take as long.
Yeah.
I haven't touched that
Yeah.
over here.
Okay, let's see. Oh, much better. Much better, yep. Okay, does anybody need a bar of clay? I got some more over here. Okay. So many times in these projects, I never do any of the work because I'm always walking around talking. So Jay, how's the Blazer running?
Good, man. Really good.
So we got a good friend of mine here. His name is Jay, and he was on our TV show. And we also did a wet sand cut and buff on his 1989 Blazer, and you can find that on our forum. It's a really nice Blazer.
Really nice.
Yep.
Really nice. Yep.
We gave it a trophy.
Adam was there. He got a trophy Detail Fest, and he took first place at the Super Chevy Show.
Yeah, best four-wheel drive.
Yep. So pretty cool.
I took first place at a show that there was only 3 cars.
It's better than third.
Yeah. It's not on the card anywhere?
I'll look around for it. We keep all your microfibers.
Yeah, oh, a whole bunch over there.
Did you do the white stripe or did you start at the blue?
No, I got it for there.
Tips.
Yeah, the piece that goes.
This is the,
But there's a piece that goes on here that this goes on.
oh,
A little, it's a little attachment. I'll go I just want to let you know
there, did you look back here? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
read the instructions before you do things.
I know which piece you're talking about. You know what? That might be in Juan's office, because I took him in the brush to see about getting a cotton bonnet made for it for doing seats, and I think I took it into the attachment on there. Let me check with him. One. You remember the attachment for the steamer with the brush I showed you? Maybe about getting a cotton bonnet for it. Is that in your office anywhere?
That should be in my office. I don't know where it might be.
If you could find it, one of the guys wants to try the steamer. No rush, but if you can find it. Adam, I got a guy all over it.
What's that?
I got a guy all over it.
You got a guy all over?
Yeah, I got Juan looking for the attachment.
You can see where I'm getting to.
Hey, real quick, you guys, just to point out, you can also clay anything that's smooth. So glass, chrome, shiny aluminum, hard plastics like headlight lenses. And if you think about it, if the paint has above surface bond contaminants, then chances are anything else in the car that's exposed to the same environment would have them too. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and just hit this windshield real quick. So David, now this has the Cadillac engine, 425, big block, right?
Yep.
And it's sitting on a 77 Cadillac frame.
Yeah, the whole drivetrain is Cadillac, and it's a turbo 400 transmission.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Probably real reliable
I sure hope so.
and plenty of power.
Yeah, it goes.
So 425, well, that's like a 66, 67?
77.
77.
Yeah.
I thought they went to like the
The
470.
downside is it's a 10 miles per gallon car in town,
Yeah.
and 77, I guess gas was a little over $1 a gallon or
We
something.
looked
Didn't
at that,
matter.
yeah.
It looks like the base coat, no?
Well, we did a little test real quick just to make sure that the clear coat's completely intact, and it is. So I'm thinking that the issue is under the clear.
That's what it looks like. The base coat just didn't.
I was thinking it might have been the angle that the guy was, or pressure, or something to do with the spray gun itself.
Weird. I mean, it's the only panel, right? Well,
Nobody looks at the roof, right?
Okay. What has not been clayed on the Packard?
The very top.
I'm getting the top of the, I'm getting my ball, I'm getting the reach on like.
platform.
Okay, I will go get a platform.
No, he got it now. He
got it.
did
I
the
got
other
both sides.
half.
I
Now
can
he
reach
got this.
Okay, well, I think we're going to need one for the machine polishing, though. Let me see. Well, one guy can get this by hand. It's not too bad.
T can get up there and jump, man. Come on, man.
Okay.
For them to pull it out and ask for it, it's $500, whatever. If I a steamer, I steamer do myself in place.
Platform?
Platform, you want to get it?
I'm going to have Juan go get that. Have him go get some.
But then I still have.
Okay, yeah, we're going to need that for the roof.
Yeah, that's a boat.
Yeah. It's cool looking, though, huh?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's two very extreme models, you know, the high performance AC Cobra and the luxury sedan from back in the 50s. Yeah.
Compared to that.
Yeah. Hey guys, did the sides on this get clayed? Yeah, it feels good. It feels smooth. Feel that.
I got up there, I just.
Back there on the far warehouse, that aluminum platform. Yeah, so we can get the roof on this thing. So, yeah, if you get one of the guys to get that, that'd be great. Okay, I think we're ready to go ahead and start machine polishing. So here's a quick question. Who here has never used a machine polisher? Raise your hand. So Les, Gene, and David. Okay, so everybody else has. In fact, most of you guys have been through the class at least once. So, oops. Okay, so let's get all the clay up on the front table and all the clay lube. And then as we use microfiber towels, remember to put them up here. I got a towel bin up here. That way we don't reuse them at all.
You don't reuse the towels at all?
No, I wash them, but we don't reuse them tonight.
Okay,
Yeah.
what do you wash these?
We wash those with a dedicated microfiber detergent and dry them. And I actually separate them all out and take care of that myself because I hate when I walk into the, or I go over to the towel bin there and I find one that's dirty or something has contaminants on it. Okay, so
Can we get that detergent for those?
we carry everything here. Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything here. Okay. Okay, hey, thanks, Juan. Got it. Good save. Okay, could someone grab me one of those Flex 3401s, bring it over here, and bring that BO6040 too. And we need some extension cords. We got a heavy duty one already. Yeah, I think it's long enough for the demo. Yeah, just lay them down right here. Okay. First up, okay. That actually looks pretty good.
Looks good right there. Mm-hmm. But I watched you on your show when you filmed this. You take this part here off.
We did. We buffed out one section that's on the show.
This is it.
Yeah.
The rest of it, no.
Okay. So I'm going to go through the entire process. Okay, hey, everybody, can I get everybody to come over here? Even if you've been through this before, I'm just going to go over some tips and techniques for using the machine. And then I'm going to turn you guys loose. And this one here, just because of the size, is going to take the most people. I've got a whole bunch of extension cords. There's some over there, some back here. You can see where the walls, the plugins are. So we'll just work together as a team. Pick the car you want to work on. We're going to use Blackfire in that, Pinnacle here. The technique I'm going to show right now, you would use on either car. It just really doesn't matter as far as that goes. So the first thing I want to show you how to use, this is a Porter cable. Now this is what we call a free-floating spindle bearing assembly. That's a whole lot of words to mean that this thing just spins freely. Okay, when I turn it on, I can hold that with my hand. Okay, and for that reason, it's very, very safe. See, I can push on that. It won't burn my skin. It's not going to burn the paint. But you can tell that's on the 6 and you can hear that. That's got some power, okay? First thing you want to do is you want to take and you want to prime your pad. This is a clean, dry pad. We've used these before. I washed these in a pad washer and dried them. So it's been used, but it's clean and ready to go. Actually, I think Adam washed these for me last time he was here. Thank you, Adam.
Foaming cleaner.
Anytime you have a product that's a liquid that stands, you always want to shake it well and before you use it. So shaking this, pop the lid. A lot of times this does what I call the volcano effect and it'll spit some out at me. Okay, like that. You want to hold that? If you stand next to me, I'll always put you to work. Okay, just take and spread that like frosting on a cake or butter on a toast.
Yeah.
And all you're going to do is this way, a couple things. Well, a couple of things is now the entire face of this pad is lubricated. Now this is a cutting pad, and let me just show this to you. Run your hand across there, Terry. Feel how sharp that is? Yeah. So that's what's the difference between a cutting pad, a polishing pad, and a foam pad is how aggressive it is. And you don't want to bring a dry cutting pad down on paint that's scratch sensitive because you could mar it basically. Even though you're going to polish it, it's just not a good practice. Now the other reason you want to prime your pad is so when you turn this thing on, 100% of that pad is going to work for you because you've got the abrasives covered over the entire face of the pad. Okay, so now after I've got that primed, I'm just going to take and put 3 drops of products on there. Okay, just like that. Okay, cord over shoulder. I don't see anybody rubbing the cord up against David's very beautiful car or Pete's very beautiful AC Cobra. So cord over shoulder. And here's the lesson you need to pay attention to. Don't ever turn this on till that pad is in contact with the paint. Now most people do this one time. You did it recently, didn't you? And then you set the buffer down and you wipe splatter dots for hours. That's right. Okay. So don't turn. The other trick is don't lift it off till the pad stops rotating. Now the technique we're going to use is called a section pass. Let me have you hold this for a second. Now, when you're using a DA polisher like this, the pad's fairly small and the tool's really safe. That's another way of saying it's a little bit on the weak side, which is a good thing if you're kind of new to machine polishing. This is an average microfiber towel. It is square. It is 16 inches square. This is about as big an area as you want to buff out at one time. So when I look at a car, I would size it up. Here's a middle dividing point. So here's a section. here's this section, and you've got this roll here. And as you buff this, you need to roll the tool and keep that pad flat all the time. But if I look at this and I divide it up, here's a section, here's a section, here's a section, here's a section, and probably get one here and one here. So you can get a little bit bigger, but you don't want to get to where you're trying to buff out half this hood with a DA polisher just because you can reach that far. So every time you look at a car, divide it up. Another thing is you don't really want to buff very long on a body line. Now clear coat paints are fairly hard, but at the same time it's just a good practice to not buff on body lines. So you buff up to them. But this isn't really a race, so this ain't going to be a problem. Something we're going to want to do on that Cobra is open that hood and put something on that motor so we don't throw splatter down that scoop. And it's also a good idea around the side vents there to be careful that you don't throw splatter around that. Now this has, these are your blinker markers, right, David?
Fender guide.
Fender guys, so you see where the fender is because the car's so big. Okay, so David said that these are kind of hard to take off and reposition, so anybody that's working on this car, do be careful and do not bend these or break these or push them into the paint. I'm going to show you how to use the tool, but before we get started, we are going to do a little bit of taping. See all this rubber right here? We don't want to put a bunch of polish residue onto this rubber because it's just hard to wipe off. So do a little bit of taping, same thing on that one over there. Okay, so here's how you use this. This is called a section pass. And when I look at this car and here's the section, I'm going to go over this 6 to 8 times, okay? And that's how many times it usually takes to pull the swirls out. And so going from this side to this side, that's called a single pass. But to cover that area, okay, back to this section, to cover that, to go over that one time, that's one section pass. I'm going to change directions. That'd be 2 section passes. And every time I do that, that's called a section pass. Usually to take the swirls out, you need to go like 6 to 8 section passes over that section 6 to 8 times. And you want to have these on the high speed. This is a porter cable. The high speed is 6 on this. And I'm going to turn it down a little bit just to spread my product out. Okay, so my product is spread out, and you can see the size is about the size of a microfiber towel. I'm going to bump this speed up, and this is what a section pass would look like. I'm going to push down pretty hard, but I'm not going to bend the sheet metal. And I'm going to move it real slow. And this is where a lot of guys make the mistake. They hear that high speed, and they get that thing just zinging across the paint. You want to move it slowly. And when you move it slowly, what you're doing is you're giving the aggressiveness of the foam, the abrasives, the oscillating action, downward pressure, and time. Okay, time is moving slow to affect the paint. By affect the paint, I mean remove small particles of it. So here's what that looks like. Then overlap by 50%. And then you want to change direction. Overlap by 50%. This should just be a very nice, smooth, even motion. Change direction again. How many times will this be? That's 3 times. Okay, change directions again. Now putting all the pressure down the head. If you put the pressure down here, you buff crooked, the pad quits rotating. So put all the pressure right up here. Now these things come with a handle, and I always take it off because when you use the handle, you tend to buff crooked because the handle's sticking out like here, you push down on it, you're buffing crooked again. So it's just as easy to put your hand right up there on the head. Okay, I think this is what, 5 or 6? Okay. Now what you don't want to do is this. Okay? This doesn't do anything. Turn it off, let the pad stop spinning. Take that for a second, thank you, Jeff. Whenever you're wiping product off, fold your microfiber towel 4 ways. Help spread the pressure of your hand, use 8 sides to wipe with. Make little tiny circular overlapping wipes. Okay. You can actually tell it's a lot more clear there than the other place, a little bit hazy. Okay, so that's how you use a porter cable. You would use that with a compound, with the polish, and with a compound, a medium cut polish, or a fine cut polish. When you go to put the wax on, you don't got to do section spots. You can do as big an area as you want. Okay, so let's take a look at the Flex 3401. Who here has never used this tool? Raise your hand. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. Now this is direct drive. Now the other one, remember I could spin that pad? There's no tension. There's no direct gear drive to it. This is a cyan cutting pad. This is a 5.5-inch backing plate. I'm going to put this on here just kind of centered up. Here, I'll let you plug it in. Thank you. Okay, so, and the variable speed is right here. It's conveniently located for your thumb. It's got a trigger lock right here. Pull the trigger and lock it in place if you want to. But I want you to watch this oscillating action. See how that oscillates? So it's rotating and oscillating inside that motion. But this is direct drive. I can't stop this if I wanted to. If I put my hand here while it's running, it's going to take my skin off. So it's got a lot more power than the other tool. What's that? Yancey's going crazy on something there. Now here's something about this tool. It's self-teaching in that it teaches you to hold the pad flat, because if I tilt this to any side, you're just going to feel like it's trying to walk in a direction. And when you feel doing that, that tells you you're not holding the pad flat. So just go ahead and hold the pad flat. Now because this is direct drive, it has a lot more power, you can usually tackle a bigger area. You can also, if you're a detailer trying to make money with this, you can knock a car out faster, so that increases your profit level. So let's go ahead, I'm going to take and put some of the Pinnacle swirl mover on here, because this is a dry pad. This is actually brand new, it's never been used. There you go, Terry. Yeah, I'm just going to take and spread this out. And for everybody out there in internet land watching this, all these techniques are covered in my how-to book and most of my how-to DVDs. You can get all those at autogeek.net. Okay, so that pad is now primed. I'm going to go ahead and put, this is what we call the working product. So the pad is primed, but now we need some product to work with. And so it's called working product. Okay, I'm going to jump down here and work a little bit on the front of the hood. Again, never turn this on until it's in contact with the paint. Notice I got the cord over my shoulder. I'm going to start at a slow speed just to kind of spread this out. We'll bump it up. And for correction, usually going to be on like the 5 or the 6. So there's 4, there's 5. And same thing. You just want to use a slow, overlapping motion. Change direction. Anytime you work a curve, you got to roll the body of the tool to match that curve, so you keep that pad as flat as you can against the finish. And same thing, don't lift that tool off till that pad stops spinning, or you'll throw splatter everywhere. Thank you, sir. Okay, and another little tip, never let a compound or a polish dry, and never buff to a dry buff. You actually want to wipe it off so it's still liquid, and the polishing oils will act as a lubricant to help you get the product off without marring the paint. If you let it dry, then all the spent abrasives, you'll be grinding those into the paint as you struggle to get it off. How's that look? Okay, so that's how you use the Flex 3401. And I got one BO6040 here. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do to show you this tool. This works the same kind of way. I'm just going to go ahead and borrow the pad off this since it's already primed and ready to go. This is a forced rotation dual action polisher. It also has a knob on the side which lets you flip this over to work like the Porter Cable or the Griot's Garage or the Meguiar's Online, and that it'll free spin. So if I turn this on after I plug it in. Okay. Okay, so it's got a little knob here. You got two different options. You got forced rotation, or you got a free spinning orbital. And I think that's in the, yeah, so I can hold that with my hand, see? Now I take and I flip this knob, And that's just like the Flex 34-1. That is now forced rotation. So you would use that the same way, since this is primed. Come down here and work this fender a little bit. Again, cord over shoulder. Put all the pressure down here, not here. You'll buff crooked. Spread your product out. Slow down. And then just make overlapping passes. Got to be careful. This has a vacuum attachment on it because this can be used for sanding, so it sucks all the sawdust out of there, sanding dust. Don't run that into the paint. But that tool basically works the same way. So that's how all the different tools that we're using tonight work, and you just want to use basically the same technique. If you got a clean, dry pad, prime it before you start buffing, add your working product. Don't turn the tool on until the pad is in contact with the paint. Don't lift it off until the pad has stopped rotating. Make slow overlapping passes, work one section, and when you finish buffing out one section, say if I buff this section out right here, I'll move on to a new section, overlap this a little bit into the previous section, so you have what we call UMR, Uniform Material Removal, for a uniform look over the entire car. Any questions? Okay, if you're new, let's get you going on the Porter cables, the Griot's Garage, and the Meguiars. If you're comfortable with the 3401 guys, go ahead and grab those. And if someone wants to play with the BO6040, you're welcome to try it out. So, okay, break. Okay, all the tools are here. I'm going to help get the extension cords going. Here's an extension cord ready to go. I'll help you guys get going here. You guys want to walk over and grab any of the tools on the left side table over there. Any one of them, the Griots, the Meguiars, or the Porter cable.
Cutting bumpers, okay?
Yeah.
And that's for putting in, that's for using number one. How do you know what you want to do second? Which one do you want to use in second?
What you want to do is you want to take and inspect the finish and do what we call a test spot.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to get that deep tonight because I already did a test spot to see what it was going to take.
Okay.
But usually say you're working on a car. Here you go. Let me hand this off to you. Okay. What I always teach guys to do is put a tape line down.
Yeah.
And I got a brand new article that actually has pictures that shows you how to do this. But let me grab a piece of tape.
I saw that on one of the programs.
Yeah. So I would take and I would put a tape. Hi Sue, how are you doing? I'd put a tape line down. Okay. I'd probably do it more like this. Okay. Okay, then I would take and I would buff on this side,
Right.
And then after I tested my first product, then I would pull the tape line back and I would look on both sides and I would be able to see if I was getting the defects out. If I was, I knew that that pad on that product was going to get the job done. If it wasn't, then I knew I needed to get something more aggressive. And you usually start out using something very non-aggressive, because the whole idea is the philosophy of using the least aggressive product to get the job done, because you'll leave the most amount of paint on the car and get the job done. And then you just continually get more and more aggressive.
Okay.
Now, and before everybody got here, I already did some testing on the cars and I already kind of knew it was going to take.
Yeah.
So, but that's how. Good question though. Very good question, Gene.
It just contaminated this pad.
Oh, okay, you got the wrong product? Well, just tell you what, take your microphone down, just wipe it off, and don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal, because that's a very non-aggressive product. Okay. What you want to do when you do these, so I do is I hold it like this, and just kind of line it up, and it's important to get it close, but it doesn't have to be perfect. A rotary buffer, you want to be dead on accurate. DA, it's already making an oscillating action, so it's not super critical.
I want to try this one. That's the one I want to
Yep.
play.
Oh yeah, and it's really safe. So this would be a good place for you to start out. Maybe just start working this area right here. And this will teach you how to roll that body to match the curve of the hood here. So that should say swirl remover. Yeah, I have all the products over here. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Yep. That'll work.
Yeah.
You know what I've always done in the past? I just put a blanket on the What's that?
I usually take a microfiber and fold it lengthwise.
Yeah.
Just block it down.
Yeah, anything you can, just because otherwise,
Well,
like you.
doing it this way keeps you away from the edge of the paint can. So
That's true. That way you don't have to worry about burning it.
yeah.
Okay. How we doing, Steve? How we doing?
Very good.
Yes. All in this cupboard over here. Leave the green ones, and we can draw anything else off here. Let me put the green ones up here. I want to save those for the final wipe. So any of the purple or the gold there, they're all clean, ready to go. Just grab a whole handful to pull them out of here. There you go. Set some over there where you need them. Hey guys, here's a collection of towels, okay? Do you have a question, Terry? Did you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay, how you liking that tool?
Love it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's got a lot of power now. Before you go home tonight, you try out that flex too, okay?
Okay.
And have you tried the porta cable, the Griots, or the other
I
ones?
tried the quarter cable before, but
Okay.
that flex, I never tried the flex.
Oh, you're gonna like the flex.
This action right here.
You try them both, okay?
All right.
That way you know. How we doing, Pete?
Oh, we're doing good.
Which tool do you want to work with first?
Doesn't even matter. I was just going to help him out.
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
get some of the wax out before we paint.
Good idea.
This way.
Good idea. You need some help with that at all? Here's a good place with swirls right here.
Comes around and yeah, I can get right there.
Like what color we use to take that off?
The purple ones over here are fine.
Thank you.
Yep.
Where we going with those?
I'm going over here to your beautiful interior. I'm going to try to keep it beautiful. Yep, that's perfect. Yep. Jeff, you want to throw that over that chair? Hey, Adam, when you get a chance, why don't you just, Adam, when you get a chance, just stick a piece of tape to hold this onto the dasher. Yeah. Let's keep this dash all clean. Beautiful. You got a piece of tape there? Perfect.
Throw it on top of the mirror there, Mike. We can do that.
I just don't want to make sure no one snags it. There we go. Better safe than sorry. There. Okay, how are we doing over here, Al?
That's good so far.
That's plenty of product.
I'm going to drop it in.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll take that. So let's see his technique here, buddy.
I'm on that quarter panel.
Oh, okay.
Just scope that on in.
Oh, okay. Now that's a lot of product, so spread that out a little bit. There you go. Now work it. You got it. 1 second. How's that feel, Wes?
I can't believe how easy it is.
Now, one thing I want you to notice, and you want to make sure that pad's rotating, see?
Oh, so
now look what happens when you tilt it too hard to one side, see?
okay.
Yeah, so that teaches you to hold that pad flat. Don't lift it up, whatever you do. Now go ahead and turn this off. Let's check your speed setting. Turn to 5. If you bump that up to 6, you'll see that thing rotating a lot better.
Okay.
Now try. There you go. I buffed out a couple cars one time, so I buffed out a couple cars in my life. Now, you're tackling a pretty good sized area there, and you're moving it too fast. So a little slower. Yeah, tackle an area about for this here, like right there. Okay? And knock out this section and knock out that section. Oh yeah. All right.
Go out on camera and do that.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, so the question on the forum was, is it recommended to tape off the gap between where two panels meet? And normally no, because you want to go in there and just clean any residue out. If you do tape it off, you're going to have sections of paint that don't get polished. So it's kind of 6.5 in one hand, 6.5 in the other hand. You can if you want to, but I usually don't. But it's just kind of a tough thing, you know.
I want to bring my car in.
Yeah. So here's an example of that question. Here the hood meets the fender, and there's a gap here. We're not gonna tape this off. And if we get any product sling in there, all we gotta do is lift the hood and we can come back in and wipe it off. So we're not gonna tape that off. Actually, these classic cars like this are easy to buff out because there's no plastic trim. This is chrome up here, and if you hit this with the buffer, it probably just makes it look shiny. So it's really easy to buff out classy cars. This car over here doesn't have any plastic trim either. When you get into your brand new Hondas, Toyotas, Chevys, Fords, a lot of the trim on those are gonna be plastic, sometimes pebble texture plastic, and you want to tape all that off because if you get polish on it, it's going to stain it and you're going to have to fight getting it off. But that's one of the reasons I personally like working on classic cars like this that I don't got to worry about the trim. We should probably tape off right up here, so go ahead, I'll show you how. It's this rubber gasket that we don't want to get any splatter on it. It's mostly right down here where we're going to be worried about. One of the problems we run into, Gene, is when you wipe this down with rinseless washing gloss like we did, it leaves a little polymer protection on there, then your tape don't want to stick.
Yeah.
So just get it good, like that. And then I'll try to have everybody just be careful. I don't think we'll throw it up here too much.
Okay.
Well, you know, when we come buffing down, they might throw it on there, so.
Look at it. So you're not worried about it there's something here?
No. Just the rubber from the chrome trim back where that rubber gasket is. Now, these older cars like this have a pretty good sized gasket on them. A lot of times if you'll pull your tape out while you're taping, it's easier to bend it and form it to the panel.
Mike,
Yes.
is this any special paint? I mean, I can't believe how beautiful that is.
This paint?
Is there anything you
It's base coat, clear coat. The trick is just polishing it the right way. Yeah, you know, we have a lot of really nice cars come down here to the show car garage, like really nice. And most people stand back and look at it and go, wow, that looks good. When I look at it, I see it looks good, but it's still got swirls. And so when you pull all those out, you really amp up the gloss and the clear coat. You can really see the color underneath, and it makes them just glisten. I always tell guys, you know, it's really easy to take something in really bad shape and do an extreme makeover and show a dramatic before and after. It's hard to take something that's actually in pretty good shape and take it to a higher level.
Question for you.
Oh, okay.
Volcano effect. Yeah, I talked about earlier. Too much product on the working pad. Is it alright to go with the area, or should they take some of the product off the pad?
You know what? Let me read the question back. Okay. So so the question is, the volcano effect I talked about, sometimes that's when you shake the bottle up and you pull the lid off, you have some that's trapped at the very top of the lid cell and it kind of spits it out. That's what I meant by that. Now, when you get too much product on the pad, you can do one of two things. You can take some off and actually put it back in the bottle, or you can just try to dab it onto paint where you're going to work in a few minutes, and then go back and work in the one section you were going to start on. After you're going to work on that section, go back, pick up that extra product and work it in. But one thing for sure, you don't want to overuse the product because you'll hyper lubricate the surface. That makes it harder for the abrasive technology to do its job. Plus, you can saturate your pad. Good question, by the way. There you go. Oh, I'm taping. The flex is good, isn't it? I like it. I went to start taping off this gasket and I just noticed the window wasn't up.
You know what? I didn't even notice the name.
I thought it was really clear glass.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to be out of your way here. It's 2 shakes of a rat still. One thing I know is this a personal thing, is I hate getting splat on other people's cars.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know, and I don't want them to use my name as a cuss word down the road every time they look at the...
Because those rubbers, with the silicone that comes from these compounds, stain them.
It stains them, and then it's hard to get them off.
Yeah, very hard. I found that a little bit of thinner would be good.
Yeah.
You run the risk of damaging the paint if anything.
Well, yeah, you dull the paint down.
Yeah.
It's always easier to just go ahead and tape it off.
Yeah.
One second. Okay. What do we got here, guys?
Nothing I did. I just spotted something on here.
Yeah, that's
Looks like the original buffing was done on it and I missed it.
well, that's actually like some paint modeling. It's just how the clear laid down. But now that you've seen it, don't buff on it for too long. In fact, that actually
Did it twice, so
it ain't gonna come out any better. That's actually like a grain in the paint. Good eye though. Good eye. How's this looking back here, Gene? That looks good. It's coming out really clear and glossy, isn't it, David? Sue, how are you doing? We're broadcasting.
It's got chrome.
Yeah, isn't it a beauty? Yeah, that is a beautiful car. Nice body shapes, and you're right, lots of chrome trim, no plastic trim, as I was just telling everybody online. You got your son up here and his buddies up here all working on his Cobra.
I know, I was over his shoulder over there.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm mic'd up live. We're broadcasting live over the internet right now. So.
The rain might.
Yes.
Somebody got their top down out here.
Okay. Hey, thanks for letting me know. Hey, Al. It's starting to rain a little bit. You want to put the top up on your Camaro? By the way, Todd, he's got a Camaro, a black one, but it's brand new. It don't have any swirls in it.
It doesn't?
No, it's brand new. Well, you can take a swirl finder light and inspect it, but I mean, you said you were looking for one in really bad shape. He just bought that one. Okay, has anybody worked up here yet?
I haven't. I get over here.
Okay. I want to see if this comes out any better. There goes that.
Did you just go to the second,
Hey, real quick, let me see the face of your pad there. That looks like some brown paint, doesn't it? Yeah. Now that could just be overspray.
That's what I think it is. Because I've sanded it. I've wet sanded it before with 3000 size active before.
Okay.
And it pulled a lot of the stuff out, so it shouldn't be no real paint transfer. It could be just overspray.
A little bit overspray. Okay. Have you seen this?
That is the painter's problem.
Okay.
The painter did it.
Okay.
I knew I was going to look this.
Okay. What's that?
You're allowed to caress the car?
Yes, you're allowed to caress the car. Anything you want to do, Todd, you're welcome to.
So you got to stay cool no matter what you're doing, brother.
Hey, there you go.
if you want to keep on bumping, we'll wipe that out for you. Okay. Well, I'll wipe this out.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to put the next model down while I'm going there.
Is that modeling up there?
Does it matter how long it stays on
You don't
before?
want to let it dry.
No, you don't let it dry. That's only a wax. Yeah, only the waxers need to dry.
Only because when the camera's dry, it's good back here. Oh, we put a power cord on. That sounds almost shot after that.
I got brand new here. If it's almost shot, I'm gonna wipe down.
Okay, there you go. There's cold water in there if you want one. Okay. Hey Jeff, has anybody got up here yet? Okay, I'll get up here at the 4-inch. Pardon me?
So we got to go from like the doors forward, from like right here forward still.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was taping everything off.
It's looking good. I need an extension cord.
Picture?
What's that?
Can I take a picture?
Oh yeah, go walk around, take a picture. Have fun. Be careful not to trip over any of the cords. That's looking good, Steve. Looking really good. Yes.
Did he tell you he split his pants first thing?
I'm mic'd and live. I'm mic'd. And this is recorded. But that's funny.
I'm just gonna take some of the deepest stuff in here, that's okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead. I was gonna see what a DA would do on that. I think this is all under the clear.
The modeling is, but there's just a lot of ribs.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to, Todd, you can go for that. What do we need, buddy?
Well, since this side here is completed,
Yes.
wanted to
Start working forward? Okay. So let's switch over to the polish then. That's up here. Is the other side of the roof done yet?
I'll do the other side of the roof.
Okay, you want to do that instead? Yeah, before we do the polish. Let's get the all one step done. Yeah. Oh, Todd, you're always so nice.
Can I give you a big hug?
No. Remember, this is all being recorded.
I know.
Oh, you're a funny guy. Hey, be real careful over there, because that paint's a little bit iffy. Yeah. Check out right above the driver's door. Saw that? Yeah. So sometimes, like I got this article, it's called Taking a Car's Paint to Its Maximum Potential. Sometimes you can't get perfect, but you can take whatever you have and get it as good as it can be.
I think you're the best.
Oh, Todd, I think you're swell. Okay. Hey, Jay. Hey, guys, has the entire front clip here, besides this fender, been worked on? Is this hood? How about this fender right here? It's all done? Okay, well then I'll move over here then.
I think it's just not here.
Yeah, so Todd's gonna work on that. Todd did. He's gonna use the rotary on there.
Okay.
Yeah. He was here when we talked about only using DAs tonight. Yeah, he missed that part, but that's okay. He's very proficient. You know what? We could throw a blanket over this engine real quick too. A small blanket. Right there, buddy. 4-inch. Okay, so we're gonna do some polishing up here, and I just want to take, and this is a cover-up towel. Just kind of cover everything up. Just a little precaution, that's all. This is the Griot's Garage. I've got it on the 6th setting with a 5.5-inch Hydrotech cutting pad. This is a 7/8-inch thin pad, and you can see that backing place really rotating well. It actually works pretty much like a rotary buffer when you're using it like this. Thanks,
What else needs over here?
I think we're all working this way forward. So where are you at up here, Jeff? Has this fender been finished out? No? So this fender, if you want to jump on that, I'm getting up here in the front of the windshield.
Where did Steve go?
Steve, I'm not sure, he was just here. Okay, I'm going to come up here and just real carefully get in this section between the two wiper arms. There you go, buddy. Okay, let's see how that looks.
You guys do the top of that door yet?
I think I'll have to check with Steve.
And you just do this by hand down in there, right?
Yeah, you just hit that by hand. Okay. Much better. Much better. The tape residue, sometimes you peel that off, you know, when you buff there. Most of that'll come off when you put the wax on, though. Hey Steve, where are we at with the top of this door? Have you got the top of the door yet?
Yes, but not in
Okay.
this area. You can fold that thing up on top too. You got that little,
What's that?
I said I got that little wheel over here. We can turn those things up and get on there and walk. You said we still need to do the hood?
Yeah.
Are you over on that side?
I've got this side of the cowl. I haven't got the blue part on that side of the windshield wipe armor.
All right, I'll do that, then we can slide it forward.
Yep. Looking good, guys.
Nobody has questions for you?
There's an audio feed, right?
I'm liked live.
Oh, so
Yeah.
every time I keep telling everybody how much I love you, they
Yeah,
can hear
they can hear that, yeah.
Mike,
There was something funnier said earlier tonight.
you're supposed to warn me of these things, Mike.
You missed the meeting before we started where I announced all this stuff, see?
I was working.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Someone right here's got to work. We're out here having fun, man. Someone's got to do the work side. Hey, guys, I think, are we getting pretty close to the polishing step for this? Has everything been, everything's been done with the blue pad and the swirl remover, right? You got the whole roof? Okay. So what we want to do then is we want to switch over to the swirl remover and the orange pads onto everything. Okay? How are we doing back here, Al?
I'm almost done.
It's a good workout, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. My friend Al back here, we had his car down here. It was a 1959 El Camino with a 348 big block, and it was black. When it got here, it was completely swirled out, and you can find the pictures for that up on autogeekonline.net. We did an extreme makeover on it, but that's my good buddy down here, Al. Sad to say he sold that El Camino, and it's on its way to Australia.
It looks so good.
And over here is my good friend Gene, and Gene has a 1963 Corvette split window, and he was also on our TV show. And I'm happy to say that every time I look at his finish, it already looks amazing. Take and bump that speed up to the 6. Go to the back. Okay. And when you're using these 4-inch pads, they're kind of thick. What you want to do is see those black marks, make sure you see that thing rotating. Right now. There you go. See it rotates a little better now? Now you're taking swirls out. Wow, this looks really good back here. You guys did an awesome job. What do you think, Pete? Okay, so we got to put the hood down on this, switch this one over. Okay, so let's get everything set up over here. Now we want to get rid of the swirl remover, and I'll go over here and we'll get the polish, the advanced finishing polish. Pardon me?
What are you using on the back edge?
We're using the Pinnacle Advanced Swirl Remover and the Pinnacle Advanced Finishing Polish.
Where do these go, Mike?
Throw it in the box. Yep, and I will wash all that stuff tomorrow. Okay, guys. This,
Too, right?
yeah, once you've used it, yeah, put them in the box. Okay, so this is the next step product. This is a really nice, it's a fine cut polish. It's really, really fine. All we're gonna do is, if you look at the paint right now, it looks great. It's just gonna really max out that gloss and clarity and perfectly prepare it for wax. Now, at this point, some people would actually skip this step, you know, because they look at this, go, that looks pretty good, throw some wax on it. Everybody has different expectations.
Yeah.
So what we try to do down here is we just go ahead and do the full meal deal, man. We do it all. So that's why it says show car garage up there, not mediocre garage.
Right on. That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I'll be here all week. So.
Where's that?
You know, it would be cool if we, I don't know how many people got their street rods and stuff out there, but like Jay's got his Blazer. Gene, did you bring your vet?
Got halfway here and start running on me.
Okay, yeah, I don't blame you for not driving that in the rain. Okay, so basically just want to switch over to the tangerine pads.
Finish that thought though. What were you gonna do?
I was going to have Yancey walk out there and take pictures of all the cars. So, that's surprise Yancey. Okay, so I'm going to jump on this. Tell you what, Terry, you going to want to start knocking out the roof again? Yep. And then I'll start up here on the hood. And I think they're done with the Cobra except for the hood.
Yeah, the hood is not better.
Coming at you. Okie dokie. You want a tangerine pad right here?
All right, cool.
You having a good time down here, Les?
Awesome. I gotta come back with my car.
You got to come back with the Mercedes Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz Club. So Les here, he sent an email to Autogeek asking if his car club could come down here for a clinic, and I went ahead and called him and sent him an email and kind of told him what we were about, and invited him to come down to our Thursday night clinics that we have down here, and he showed up and he's liking it?
Absolutely.
Now, have you always waxed by hand?
Oh yeah.
Are you ready to buy a machine?
Absolutely.
Okay. Takes all the work out of it. That's right. But he does have a very beautiful Mercedes. Now, what is your Mercedes? What model is that?
O2 SL 500.
Okay, so it's the SL 500 convertible.
Yeah.
And it actually does look really nice. And it is, what is that red color called?
Honestly, I don't know.
Arrest me red?
Yeah, it's pretty sharp.
It's pretty red. Okay, so now since you got a dry pad, you want to go ahead and do the priming thing.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yep. And tell you what, I'm going to jump over here and get on the passenger side.
Are we done with those?
You can stick those back over on that far table that you see over there. Thank you, David. One thing I want to point out, and Terry, now that we've done the heavy cut step, the polishing step goes a lot faster because we're not trying to actually remove a lot of swirls and scratches. They're gone. 2 or 3 passes, boom, move on to new territory. You want to jump on the opposite side of me? Now, when I first started out, see all that product you got on there? I dabbed it down there, worked this section, and when I get it ready, I'm going to go here, I'm going to leave the pad against the paint, tilt it, grab that product, spread it out, just like that. Don't run that into it. You'll throw it. You gotta tilt it. Yeah, you want to bring it up and tilt it and grab it like that. What? Silver. No, we're doing the advanced finishing polish. Yep. Sorry, Jay. It's just noisy in here. Now don't get going too fast. Just so you know, I've been doing this all my life. It's my natural instinct to get going. I gotta tell myself to go slow. that looks good. Can I steal a little bit of that from you, Al?
Sure, why not?
That is a lot of product on there. You don't need to add any working product. Yeah. Yeah, dry pads do that. That looks good. Work that, then add some more. Okay, Les, I came right up to this body line here, so you keep coming around the front there. I'm going to start on the fender and start going back. So I'm going to start at the front here and start coming down the side toward you.
Okay.
Pardon me?
You can do anything you want.
Okay.
Could you do the whole, could you just live with this machine forever?
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot of people in the world that's all they use is what's called a dual action polisher.
Yeah.
Yep. And actually, just to let you know, Gene, the trend is there's companies bringing out more and more pads and products for this exact type of tool. So that's the trend. Yeah. And the reason why is because it gets production detailers at these dealerships and auctions away from the rotary buffer, and then a lot of these times these guys are swirling out the car.
Well, see, that's what I like about it more than anything else. I don't want to screw something up, you know. And this, you know, you just can't hardly make a mistake with.
You can't, watch.
I mean, a novice can't, yeah. All right,
you can't make a mistake, yeah. Well, even a pro like myself can't do it. But this is the trend, so. Remember to move it slowly, and notice I got a cord over my shoulder. That way you don't drag it over the paint, you just polished.
You're right, forgot, sorry.
It's okay. It's always a learning experience and forming new habits. Hey, Insigner. Hi, back at ya. Wish you could be here to join the fun. That's one of the forum members over in Greece talking to us right now over the internet. So I posted this live feed to Mustang forums, Mercedes-Benz forum, Acura Zine, Corvette forum, 6-Speed Online, Detail World, the Romania forum, Autogeek Online, and let's see, Bimmer forums, E46 forums. I think right around 8 or 9 forums plus my Facebook page. So we got people all around the world. So Gene and Les, a lot of times if you're ever watching like detailers in a production system, you'll see them actually buffing out a car about as fast as they can walk around. I mean, that buff is just flying. And
Factory, you mean?
no, out here in the world, the retail world, the consumer world, at the factory, they don't really got to do a lot of
I
buffing.
can't believe they get these kind of results.
I have an article, it's a fairly new article up on the forum about some of the paints that come out on a Mercedes-Benz. They're called ceramic clear.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Okay, well, the article, what it talks about is those nanoparticles, when they spray that paint, they kind of migrate to the top, and you don't want to get a detailer out there working on an aggressive compound. He'll actually abrade all that stuff off. Now, the clear coat's still there, but the thing that makes it magical is now gone. So, what I always tell a lot of guys is the best detailers are the detailers that hang out on forums like ours, because that's where all the information gets shared. If you're just out buffing on cars in the garage, you don't get any of the new information. Yeah, it's kind of addicting.
Bugs about setting something up in the fall. Probably can't do anything till the fall.
That's okay. Just about every other Thursday, yeah. Yeah, now, I always post an announcement on the bottom of the forum homepage. Yeah. Hopefully not very often at all. Yeah, once you get all the swirls and scratches taken out, the idea is to wash it carefully or wipe it carefully if it's a garage clean, and then maintain a good total wax or a synthetic paint sealant. And then, you know, if you're after you're washing, you inspect it, and you see some light swirls showing up, instead of going to the heavy part, just stick with the light one. Yeah. What you don't want to do is spend your whole day polishing out a car and then run it through one of those brush-style car washes, or even one of the hand car washes, you know, because those guys drop those mitts. When you pull in, they don't go, hey, everybody, look, it's Wes and his Mercedes, let's get the good mitts out. They just use that same mitt they wash that dirty truck with. Yeah, so I always tell guys they got to take ownership of the wash process. And a lot of guys don't want to hear that, you know, because it's so easy to take it to a car wash. You want to go ahead and...
At this point, I take it.
I stopped right here. So.
I blow it off with a leaf blower. I won't even use a chamois on it.
I got some photos of everybody working on this car. That's the last time that's ever going to happen, I think.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, because if you keep it up, it won't need it again. I'm going to set you up with the wax to take home to maintain this, okay? It's a spray on. It's real easy. Really high shine. You'll like it. It's in our Pinnacle line. Okay, guys, I want to get right down here. I can knock out this fender. Yeah.
Then switch it, go up and down.
Yep. There's a couple reasons for that. One is it ensures uniform material removal because you buff all the paint about the same amount.
Yeah.
And so that means if you're removing all the swirls here, they should be gone everywhere.
Yeah.
The other reason why is you don't have to think about it, you know, so you don't want to sit here and try to think of some intricate pattern.
Yes, yes.
You want something you can just duplicate over and over again.
Yeah.
And if you ever get to the point where you hire employees, you want to be able to train them with a system they don't got to think about.
Yes, sir.
So it's just a real good, simple method is all it is. Okay, that panel can be wiped off. Okay, you got that door.
Yeah, I got this door.
I'll do the fender.
Okay.
Where we at, Al? You got the top done? You got this fender's done?
No, I haven't.
The side?
No, I haven't done
I'll get
that
this.
one.
I'll get the side. Now here's something. If you notice, this one has the handle and this one doesn't.
Yeah.
And you can use the handle, but I always end up just putting my hand through there.
Yeah.
But the farther you get your hand away from the tool, the more it's going to stress out all these muscles, the harder it is to actually control it. So I always show guys just take them handles off and pitch them. Never look back.
Yes, sir.
Yep, put your hand right on top of the tool there.
I would have had it done, but the man is prepping my space here.
Funny that rear fender has some Cadillac in it.
I owned a 49 Cadillac one time. Yeah, I've owned 5 1959s, 260s, and 149. I really like the 59s. My last one, I put a 468 big block Chevy in it.
Company in Boston, and the guy that did the windows dressing, I'll never forget the day he pulled up with his brand new white 6-seat Eldorado convertible with a room carrier.
Wow.
That thing was absolutely phenomenal.
I've done everything but this top portion. I went right to this.
How much pressure are you applying?
That's about, if that's zero, just fluttering there. For the polishing step, that's probably at least 10 pounds. For the correction step, up to 15 to 20. And I know because about 6 or 7 years ago, I wrote an article, and when I wrote the article, I took a normal bathroom scale, it was accurate. I put a piece of clean, clear plastic on it, so I could see the gauge, and then from experience, I put the polish on so it was lubricated, and I pushed down on it like I would if I was buffing on a car, and I took pictures and posted them to the internet. So I'm pretty sure, because the way the tool is about 5 pounds anyway, so just sitting there, you got 5 pounds of pressure. You push on it 5 more pounds, that's 10 pounds of pressure. 10 pounds, you're at 15. People always think that's pretty high, but if you're trying to, these paints are pretty hard. You know, and you gotta.
Reading your book, I'm sorry for cutting off. It was like I was reading your book.
Yeah.
You was talking about the amount of pressure that you can apply to, you know, your machine while you're buffing the car.
Yeah.
And it went on to say it brings out more luster. Brings out more luster.
Yeah. Well, the primary thing is if you're doing any of the polishing or compounding steps is you want to engage the abrasives with the paint so they take a bite out of it. Yeah, and then as you start to work up in how aggressive your patent polish is, then it's more just you're using less pressure, because what I always tell people is polishing paint isn't the grinding process, it's an art form. It's a polishing process, yeah, it's an art form, yeah. You just have to lessen your pressure as you work through the process. I actually had a guy ask me about that recently. He says, you know what? He says, I never reduce my pressure. And I says, well, as you're buffing out the paint, you have spent product, that's the product's used up. You have paint particles you pulled off. And if you don't lessen up your pressure, you're pushing all that into the paint. You shove it in there. So, you know, you can, and that's where you get into, there's a term called jeweling. And the jeweling process, you know, a lot of guys only use the rotary with it. But I don't want to limit people if they don't want to rotary that they can't jewel. To me, jeweling is just doing an extra polishing step, working surgically clean. I mean, you got to get all the residue out of the cracks and crevices, start with the clean pad, buff a section, clean your pad, buff a section, clean your pad, and just slowly squeeze every little drop of shine out of that paint.
Yes, sir.
Then put the wax on. So.
Okay. Now, what do you suggest? Okay. Like
Look at this. Look at this. Does it look good?
I mean, it's dry.
Yeah,
right?
it really does. Well, for a rotary, which one do I like?
On doing the show car.
Yeah.
Okay. I just completed one, the 1970 Chazelle.
Okay.
Getting ready to go to New Zealand. I did a 3-day wet sand on it.
Yeah.
And it took me basically 4 days to buff it out.
Wow.
Because it was just that, you know, intricate. And, you know, they had we got a stripe, a red and black stripe with clear coat. The rest of the car is concept 2-stage enamel.
Okay.
Okay. I went through 3 pads, 3 wool pads.
Wow. Now, what did you finish out with your sandpaper? 3,000?
Well, no, I started with 1,000 on a stick.
Okay.
Okay. I went from the 1,000 to a 1,200.
Okay.
Okay. I went from the 1,200 to a 15.
Okay.
And then from the 15, I went 2,000.
All by hand?
No.
Machine.
I just sticked it first with
Okay.
the 1,000
Okay.
with the stick with the 1,000, and then soft blocked it with the 1,200 and the 15, and I trizacted with the 2,000 and 3,000 grit.
Okay, so you finished out with 3,000.
Yes.
Wow, you know what I played with this week is 5,000 grit Trizac.
Huh?
It's brand new. Yeah, this, here, walk over here. This was sanded right here with 5,000. See the reflection? You can see the reflection. See how it's already starting to add gloss to it. And then I buffed this out with just a polish, not even a compound. So that's 5,000 Trizac. We're going to be getting it in here at Autogeek. This is brand new though. 5,000 grit, yeah. And that's the whole purpose is to try to eliminate a lot of the compounding.
Exactly.
What's up, ma'am?
Can you need this?
Can I do what?
Can you need this?
Can I read it?
Do you need it?
No, I don't need it.
I was gonna take it for Wednesday. I was gonna use it on the phone.
No, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Heck yeah. I think it takes like 90 pounds PSI to run one of those things.
Yeah, I think we got about that.
Okay,
I hope.
that'll work.
I gotta run.
It's always good working with you, man.
You're the best, Mike.
Hey, thanks for sticking around and giving us a hand, Todd. See you next week. Jeff, you're a maestro behind that thing. How are we doing down here, Alan? Oh, you're tackling the chrome, huh?
Yeah.
That looks good.
After playing with your steamer outside for a while.
Yeah, I saw that.
We'll discuss it when we're off the air.
Okay. Hey guys, I think we got the polishing step done on this, and I think they're getting it pretty much done over here. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and let's put all of our microfiber towels that we've used in our pads, let's get them out of the process so we don't use anything again and contaminate anything. And let's switch over and get ready to machine apply a wax. Am I correct? Hey guys, has this all been done, the whole side?
As far as I know.
Okay.
Steve, you should do anything, right?
I've gone up to that door. So if you go from the doors forward, we're done. All I got left is this and this door, and the whole back of the car will be done.
Okay, the hood's been done?
No, just that side.
Okay. If you want to stay from the hood scoop forward, I'll do this.
Hey, Mike, can
Yes.
you take off there?
Go ahead and pull the tape off. You know, I don't remember if I didn't get the top of this. I got the vertical sides, but I didn't do this top right here.
He did. He did that.
Steve or Jay?
I think Terry did.
Terry did it? Okay. Well, it looks good, but I just wanted to make sure. Are you sure? How we doing, Pete? Well, the good news is it's 10 till 7, and we're getting ready to put the wax on, then wipe the wax off, so we're going to be done before the 3 hours is up. Excellent. Okay. Let's check on Steve over here. How we doing, Steve? How we doing over here?
Very good.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
Paint's really coming out nice and glossy on this. Really cleared up good. Okay, let me get the waxes. Yeah, let's get the cords all organized here. Let me go through there. Let me get right by here, Adam.
Green rags you got?
How are we doing back here, Stu? Having fun? Good.
Are we using these power tools?
What's that now?
Are you using this power tool?
We're going to use the tool, but we want to take off the pad. Oh yeah, we do everything by machine down here. The only time we ever use our hands is if we have to. Machine does everything better. Everything.
Mike, it was 2 weeks ago we did the porches.
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago we did the porches.
Yep.
We said, go look at the rims on that. We did the road. I mean, I'm just slide pipe somewhere.
You know, if you guys stand back and look at this thing, it just glistens. Completely.
Really nice.
Oh, something else.
Where do these pads go?
I put them in the towel box over there. I'm going to wash them all.
Hi, you Mike?
Yeah.
Don. My neighbor Lou Jones.
Yeah.
I'll swing by and talk to you about.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's clean my hands.
No problem.
Okay, how you doing, Don?
Nice to meet you.
Okay, well, here's where we're at. We've already machine polished this car twice. How's it looking? Okay, and now they're finishing up the machine polish on the Cobra over here. And then we're going to machine apply some waxes. We're going to use a Blackfire over here. We're going to use a Pinnacle, both paste waxes, but we're going to apply them by machine. That's what we did on Lou's 47 first series. Have you ever machined buffed before?
Back in high school, so like.
So you probably haven't seen any of these types of tools then.
Yeah. It was the air,
Yeah,
for that.
air rotary probably. Yeah. Well, these are we got four different types of tools out here today, but all these are all really safe to use. You can't burn the paint. You can't put swirls in. And as long as you use the right patent chemical, you can do all kinds of things with them. Yeah, I mean.
Even on like sharp edges, no problem.
Well, it's never a good idea to buff on a sharp edge no matter what, because the paint's thinner there. But if you hit it, it ain't gonna kill it. So
Just don't stay on top of it.
that's right. That's why I tell people, don't hammer on it. You know, don't stay there for too long.
Keep rolling.
But you know, new cars, like if you buy a brand new Toyota or a brand new Honda or a brand new Ford, and you're just using a light polish, they've got so many body lines, it's almost impossible to not buff on one.
Right, yeah.
But that's brand new paint and it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a problem. You get into something like this is a custom built car, you don't know who sanded it and buffed it before you got it. See how much paint you got left. Now this is a classic that's been repainted, but it's also had a full wet sand cut and buff. So we're still being real careful with both of them. We have a philosophy here at Autogeek to use the least aggressive product to get the job done. And the reason for that is because if you can get the job done, you'll leave the most paint on the car to last over the service life of the car.
What about like on a single stage paint, without any clear coat?
Well, single stage paints are actually usually very easy to work on because they're soft unless they're single stage white. Now this got what we call a little bit of modeling, but that's under the clears from the painter. So, but what we did, we just pulled all the swirls out of the top coat, so now it's really clear.
Right.
Yeah, and fill it. Yeah, so it's very. We are ready for wax. We want to get the crimson pads on DA polishers. Yep. We're going to just switch over to the DAs, not the flex. So I'll take the flex. Okay. And we're going to machine wax this. Okay. Thanks, sir. You want to give us a hand on? Now, don't you have a hot rod?
Yeah, I got a separate Mustang.
Oh, the yellow one.
Yeah.
Did he send you the link that I sent him? No? I have an article that's probably about 6 years old on the Meguiar's forum where a guy brought down that same Mustang, and it's got the flat black louvers and the flat black stripe, and those were all dull and ugly looking. We polished the paint out, and then I showed people how to polish out flat black. And what I sent him to send you, and he didn't do, was I put a tape line down the louvers, and I only polished out one half, and then I took a picture. One side's crystal clear, dark black, but not shiny, but dark matte satin black. The other side, you can tell how dull it is. So there's a little technique for doing that kind of stuff. Not a wax. No, you got to use different products for that. We're using solvent on this. Let's break out the microfiber gloves. Microfiber gloves. Okay, now I've already tricked this can out, so see that comes right off there. Let's look at the camera, see. So what we're doing now is we've completely machine polished both cars 2 times. Now we're going to machine apply a wax. Now you can do this by hand if you like. Personally, I do everything by machine. You pull your hand out of the process. You have equal pressure over the face of the pad. The machine never gets tired. I get tired, but the machine doesn't. And all I'm going to do is I popped the solver. This is solver paste wax. I just popped it out of the can. I'm holding it with a microfiber glove. I'm going to make a couple swipes across here. Does that smell good?
Yeah, it's nice.
but don't eat it. It smells like a fruit or something. Okay, same thing back here with Terry. And now you can turn the polisher on these down to about the 4 setting. So when you're removing swirls, you need the pad rotating. When you're applying a wax, you're just trying to spread a layer of wax out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't matter if it does. The key thing is to put a nice thin uniform layer down. Okay, now I'm going to set this back in the lid. I'll leave the glove I held it with right there and separate these a little bit.
How many passes should we make, Mike?
2 or 3 passes over each square inch. Good question there, Jay. Now, tell you what we're going to do is I'll get the whole car covered with wax, then we'll wipe it off. This is called a whoa-whoa wax. You wipe it on, you wipe it right off. You don't have to let this wax or that wax dry. But you always want to follow the manufacturer's directions because a lot of waxes state, allow this wax to dry to a haze. But that's not this type. But I want to get them all the way waxed off for the picture value, then we'll all wipe it off.
Mike, do we do the smiley faces?
Yeah, you can make a smiley face if you want to.
Double lap?
Yeah. But here's how I would machine wax this. Let me just show you. Okay, now when you're removing swirls, you want to kind of go fast or slow. But for this, all you're trying to do is just get that.
Okay.
And you want to go over each square inch 3 times. So, say I did that once. And it doesn't really matter what pattern you made. But now, how many times have I got over there now?
1 more.
That's twice. So it'll be the 3rd time. So I did each square inch 3 times. And you got plenty of wax. Here's a way to tell. Dab it down. Do you see wax on the glass? You still got plenty on the pad. So just keep on going. And you can kind of spot check yourself as you're working around the car. But the key thing, if you want to spot check off of a window glass, is you want to make sure that window glass is clean first. And we already wiped everything down. But that's how I would do that. So there you go. Turn it back over to you. Okay, are we set up over here to start waxing, buddy?
I think that's what we're doing.
Man, this thing looks good. Hey Pete, how many years have you been detailing cars?
Huh?
How many years have you been detailing cars?
I think I've owned since I was probably 16, 15.
Man, this thing looks good. Okay, this is the Blackfire Midnight Sun Carnauba Paste Wax. I think I've already got this one so I can pop it out of there.
Did you get up here already?
There we go. Okay.
I thought they said somebody got from the front.
Okay, same kind of thing. Blackfire Midnight Sun Carnauba Paste Wax. Usually we want to go with the thin pads on here. You want to run back over and grab the thin crimson. We can go ahead and pull this tape off too. Yep. Looking good, Jeff. I always appreciate when you come down and help us out with these projects.
What do you got next week?
Next week, tentatively, I only do these every other week, but I have I have more cars lined up to buff out than I got weeks. But next week, let me think for a second. I have something.
Next week?
I haven't made the choice to pull the trigger and say yes yet, because I like to try to do them every other week. But watch the bottom of the forum homepage. I have a guy that's got a 38 or 37 Chevy sedan, beautiful. Someone buffed it out with the wool pad on a rotary buffer and stopped. I have the pictures too. It looks absolutely horrible. Okay, so here we go. You ready? So this is the Blackfire Midnight Sun Carnauba Paste Wax. This is a Crimson Hydrotech pad on a Griot's Garage 6-inch random orbital. And when I do this, what I do is I take my hand. I'm actually blocking the backing plate so it doesn't spin with my fingers. And then I just make a couple swipes on here like that. You're ready to go to town, buddy. Tell you what, I'm going to hook up another one and give you a hand, okay? And for this, why don't you knock that speed down to about the 4? Yeah, do the whole car and leave the wax on it. Don't wipe it off yet.
Tub down the side.
I'm trying to find a polisher that's not being used. Here we go.
So this is, you're applying the wax on now then?
Yep, machine waxing. Try to do everything by hand or by machine.
Take it off with a.
We're gonna get microfiber gloves and really plush microfiber towels.
Oh, really?
So don't wipe any wax off till the whole thing is waxed. If you want to, you can wrap the cords up on these that don't look like we're gonna use them and stick them on the table. If you see any extension cords not being used, go ahead and help me put them away. That's being used. Okay. We got one here that's not being used, this one. I'll plug into this one. Oh, no, I'm going to use this one. That's a real spaghetti mess there, isn't it? Okay, as long as I got power. Steve, by the time I get my cord hooked up, you'll be done.
Maybe.
Here we go.
What was actually wrong with this paint before you brought it in?
Swirls needed to be clayed. Yeah, we did the baggy test to it, and you could feel little bumps everywhere in the paint. And then I document everything. So I took pictures of all the swirls and already put them up on the forum.
Okay.
I use a Canon digital Rebel TI1, high resolution, and I write articles on how to capture swirls with the cameras. Okay. And the reason why is because Don, is because a lot of times when you look at a car like this, the untrained eye, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I look at it and I grab a swirl finder light, throw it on there, and it's all swirled out.
Everything there.
Yeah, so, but if you don't document it, all the people on the internet, they think you're just working on pretty paint. Yeah, so you really need to prove it, because you get a lot of skeptics out there.
Well, yeah, because they're not here to see.
They're not here, that's right. Hey, do me a favor, set this over there by that wax. It's right there in the corner, there you go. Yeah, much slower speed. Because you need the high speed to remove small particles of paint, but when you're putting the wax on, you're not trying to remove paint anymore. So you're just trying to spread out a nice, thin, even coat, yeah. I used to work for a company in Oregon that built Cobras. So I've sanded down and buffed out a lot of these cars in my life. Back then we didn't have digital cameras. I have some 35 millimeter photos, but I don't have a lot of, back then that we didn't have the internet. So I didn't really take a lot of pictures. But I'm real familiar with these body styles. The roll bar, the gas cap, the scoop, all the little brads here for your tonneau or convertible top. And most of the time when these get out into the public and you got a bunch of detailers that have detailed them, the paint is always thin on all the high points of the fenders. So you got to be very careful of that, because you get some guy detailing cars with a compound and a wool pad sitting there, because it's so easy to just stand here and buff. It's harder to get down here and do the side of the door, see? So you don't have missing paint down here, just the high points. Right. That's a good question. You can do it either way. The reason I like to take it off though is because you always get a little residue line there from the compound of the polish. And then when you run the wax over it, you take it off. Now some guys could get real anal retentive and go, well now aren't you mixing that residue in with the wax? Yes. But if you leave it there, you got to come back and wipe it off, and you got to rub it, and you'll scratch the paint again. And I've never had a car come out and go, wow, sure doesn't look good because I did it that way. So a lot of times on the internet world, you'll get guys that major on the minors. I try to major on the majors. Yeah. Big picture, hey, the car looks great. Yeah. I mean, I can get just as anal retentive as the next guy. Hell, just go read any of my articles. But at some point, you just want to get the job done, too, and then take the car out and actually enjoy it.
Yeah, that's why there's all kinds of little mix and match.
Okay, so this is, here's over there. This is the wax test, you know. Looks like I'm starting to run a little low on wax there. You want to grab some? Oh, he grabs it without the microfiber glove. Okay, thanks, Steve. And then a lot of times when I do stuff like this where I put a blanket over the engine, I take a post-it note and I tape it to the ignition that says, don't start the motor. Blanket on motor. Because the last thing you want to do is suck a blanket into an engine like this one. No, but that's because I always put the note on. But I locked it into my memory for tonight. Yeah, I tell you, that is one mistake you'd only want to make that one once, especially on a real high-dollar engine. Yes, sir. No. Hold on. Can I get you to hold that for a second? Okay, so since we got the TV world out there, the internet world, what I want to have everybody do is glove up. Can I get by here now?
Certainly.
I want to get into my microfiber cabinet here. Okay, now after each one of these classes, I take and wash these. I put a little bleach in the water. That's not good for the microfiber that you wipe the paint with, but this is for your hands, so these are clean and ready to go. I want everybody to grab and put on a microfiber glove, okay? I like to put on two. Part of the reason why is because sometimes I like to stabilize myself and I'll just gently touch the paint. Now that I don't leave a fingerprint on there. And in the cupboard here, usually on the top shelf, I keep my softest microfiber towels.
Feel discriminated against. This one has a thumb hole on it.
Okay. Now,
I need that one.
Now everybody pay attention. When I fold these, this is just a little tip. This is our green rolled edge, very plush microfiber. When I wash these and fold these, I fold them with the weave side out because the plush side will so easily grab any kind of particulate that could scratch the paint. So when I fold them and store them, they're this way. When you go to use them, unfold them. But first thing you want to do is take them, inspect them visually. And if you see anything that might put a scratch in the paint, you can feel it with your hand, make sure it's not scratchy, or pull it off, okay? And then here's the technique. Okay, and this is a little thing, but I'm going to tell this story. I tell this all the time. Everybody gather around. Okay, here's why.
Story time with Mike Phillips.
One time I was down here with a guy, and if you're watching tonight, I love you to death, and I love your cars. You know that we worked on. But we machine polished his car, a 54 Corvette, a 1954 Corvette. We pull all the scratches out of it. We put a coat of wax on it just like this, and then I took and carefully folded a microfiber towel 4 ways, and I handed it to him. Over here, I'm grabbing me one. In the meantime, he shook it, scrunched it up, and started wiping the wax off. I about had a heart attack. I said, stop! What are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm wiping the wax off. I said, stop. I handed it to you folded 4 ways for a reason. Okay, when you fold it 4 ways, you have 8 sides to wipe with. That gives you the ability to manage your towel. Otherwise, you have no idea when it's scrunched up what part of the towel you used. I know it's a simple thing, but in a detail shop, you go through all micro towels, you don't want to waste them. Okay, the other thing is we just polish this paint to perfection. It looks like liquid paint is so glossy. We don't want to mar it, so you want to take and fold it so it spreads out the pressure of your hand. If you lay this thing down flat, the pressure of your fingers and your fingertips and the high point of your palm will press right on the paint. You could actually mar the paint. When you fold it 4 ways, you have some cushion there. You have 8 sides to wipe with, and then the way you take a wax off is right now if you look at this, but that's why you do that. Now if you look at this, I have a uniform coating over the entire surface, correct? So my job is to get it off without putting a scratch in. That's my job right now. So I take and I lay this down flat, and I just gently twist it, and I pull this off. What do I have there? Hold on, I have a shiny spot. See, because the rest is kind of dull, right? There's wax on it, but that's a shiny spot. Now I put the microfiber towel back on it, and I creep out from the shiny spot, taking little bites using the overlapping motion. Now, when I say creep out, I don't mean get weird on me. I mean move out from the shiny spot. And this is the fun part. See, you did all the work. Now you get to create the beauty. Look at that. Okay? So you don't want to rush this step. You want to use your best microfiber towels. And the reason I like to wear microfiber gloves is because it actually gives me grip strength over the towel. If I take this off and I go to start wiping, a lot of times this will grab the wax, my hand goes this way, the towel stays there. This simple little glove, like attracts like, okay? That's true just about everything. But now it's so easy to keep that under my hand. There you go. I got to get back over here to waxing. So carefully take the wax off, guys. Inspect your towels. Do not put a scratch in the paint. Wax on, wax off. You know, I almost bought that domain name. I looked at it, and thought about it, and I hesitated in about 10 minutes, and when it was gone. And that was about 10 years ago. Okay. Thank you, Don. If it's got wax, you can go ahead and start wiping it off. Yep. Break open the wax, make a shiny spot, and then creep out. This is one of the reasons I like these little porta cables, or even the Meguiars or the Griots, is I can wax vertical sides with one hand, you know. It's light enough, you know, my grip strength is strong enough, I can grab it and wax it, so I don't got to sit down on the ground. Oops. Let's see, did the whole front nose get wax up here, Steve?
Yes, it did.
Did it? So it got wiped off already?
No, I didn't get wiped off, I don't think.
I don't see none on this side. Okay, we are now done with the noisy part. Oops. How's it looking, guys? I need some sunglasses in here. This is blinding me. I hear we get to take the Cobra out there to that grass field and do hole shots and cut donuts out there, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Roofman, we need a roofman.
I'll help with that. I'll help with that.
We need somebody tall, somebody hold on.
Someone done with their microfiber towel and their glove? Here. Okay.
This?
I got, yep. So come out. Thank you, Gene.
Tommy's mean green. That's postcard.
Well, those particular people, I mean,
Yeah, but after they.
Right here, I can't get one.
Okay.
They call it shows. Wow.
Hey, Terry, you did a nice job up here, buddy. It looks just as good as the rest of the car. It's real easy, you know, projects like this for someone to skip, you know, or skimp on the roof.
Especially when the roof is so high up on this.
I was watching him now. He went to town. He likes that Flex 3401. That's the first time he used that.
Yeah, I like that. That's why I put a convertible. That's why it's a convertible. He's still talking about that.
exactly a small car.
Okay. I'll take a guess this thing weighs upwards of over 5,000, perhaps up to the 6,000 pound range.
That thing's a sled.
David, how much does it weigh?
About 5,000.
About 5,000. I think my 59, they rated it at 5,200 pounds. They had,
Cadillac.
59 Cat, yeah. They had big frames on them, big suspensions. I mean, they're monsters. You got to have a real jack when you change a tire on one of those and this one.
I wonder what Blinky's Cadillac weighs at 49.
You know, I asked Blinky if he'd like to bring that down here, and he said yes. You'd see Blinky every once in a while? Would you remind him and let him know what a good experience you had? Okay, hey guys, we had one of the guys on a TV show. His name is Blinky, and he's got a pile of cars. He's got a collection, doesn't he? One of his cars was on our TV show. It's a 1948 or 49? 49 Cadillac convertible. And this thing is a cream puff. Now, on the TV show, I demonstrated how to remove swirls and oxidation on the trunk lid. And again, you stand back 20 feet, that thing shines like a diamond in the sun. You get up close, you know how to look at it, it's got scratches and light oxidation. It needs to come down and get a show car makeover. And it is absolutely beautiful.
He's also got a 38 Lincoln Model K, 26 that was built, and the 3 left in the world.
I've seen that down at Guide's, and it is beautiful. So let's get them both down here.
It used to be Battleship Great.
Well, he's a car nut, that's for sure. How old is Blinky? A little bit, yeah. Yeah, he's probably in his upwards of 80. Okay, looks good. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is roll the windows down in this for the beauty shots. How are we doing over here, guys? Good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to back these things out. We're going to back these cars out, and we're going to roll up these mats because we put these cool black and white tiles down here for a reason.
Red and black.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, red and black tiles for a reason, and that's so after we get all the cars shined up is to bring it in here and showcase them. And you don't showcase them on a gray mat. So now, Yancey, I'm going to count on you to tell me where you want to position these. Pull them straight in, maybe nose in, or this one could probably stay here.
Yeah, that one can stay there, and then just pull that one and just pull it straight back in. Maybe a little bit at an angle.
Okay, let's do it then. What do you think, Pete?
Like a plan.
Okay, now remember when we brought this in here, we felt the paint. Okay, this is not good, but when I rubbed the paint the first time this car came here, remember it made a noise? It don't make any sound now. That feels good. It's smooth, and the whole thing we did with these cars today, a lot of people don't really understand this, is we made the clear coats clear. Because when you get thousands of swirls and scratches, it turns the clear coat opaque. It blocks your eyes from seeing the color underneath. Plus, it's not as glossy. But what we did is we removed all the swirls and scratches, did 2 polishing steps. We used the Blackfire compound, the Blackfire polish, then we put the Blackfire carnauba wax on here. And this thing just, you can see the blue metallic flake, because what people call on the internet, it pops, you know, because you can see the flake. But the reason you can see the flake is because we turn the clear coat clear. That's why. Cool.
Okay. Remember what we were talking about over there?
Yeah, let's get that after we take the beauty shots and shut everything down.
You got the towel in the hood?
You want a towel on the hood?
There is a towel in the hood.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got to pop the hood and pull the blanket out. We also want to pull the wheel maskers off. Okay. Okay, David, you ready to back this thing out? Okay. Hey, hey, Adam, can you give me a hand? A couple guys give me a hand. When we back this up, if there's any water from the rain that fell down, let's go ahead and wipe that up before we roll the carpets. And here's a couple towels to do that with. And actually, I'm going to bring a broom in here because there's some dirt on here. And when we roll these mats up, I can't roll the dirt up with it because then it takes more for it. I'm not only in charge of the garage, I'm in charge of the mats. I want the mats clean when I roll them up. I'm the mat guy. Okay. Whoops, those are the brooms. Luckily they didn't hit the Cobra. Here we go. Hey, look at that. He's got a backup light in his trailer hitch. Wow. Hey, Yancey, can your camera, Yancey, can you capture a shot of Jay's Blazer up there? Well, not right now, but at some point. I see another project car out there. Who owns that town car?
That's a cool town car, man.
Hey, that thing is in great shape, except for guess what? The paint needs to be polished.
Well, I'll tell you what. Sandy Creek.
Thanks, Adam. So, Pete, what size motor does this have? Your Cobra?
It's got a round facing 302.
And that's a 4-speed, right?
10-set 5-speed.
So tell me, is it fun? Is it fun to drive?
Absolutely.
It looks like it.
Every corner on the little Jack Daniels drive. The first one was really potential. After the first time, I think the other three. I'll tell you what.
Is that the last one, Mike?
Yeah, I'm just going to knock this down, then we're going to fold these and we're going to half them. Okay. Whew. Okay, so hold on. I got this down to a science. It just hand me that corner. Yeah, now we're just gonna half them. Yeah. Then just keep halving them and halving them, and we can pull them over here so they're not a trip hazard. Gene, I want to have you. I want to move this over just a little bit. I don't want them right in front of that door. Okay, so guys, if you can't no. I want them right here, but not right in front of the door. Yeah. Yeah, just stick them right here. So. Yeah, right there in front of the two hoods there. There you go. Perfect, man. Then put the other one right on top of it. I got it. I'm not sure Yancey would know. Yancey, who did the logo for our floor? Oh, Racetech did it. Yeah, we get the tiles from Racetech. I'm actually really good friends with Jorgen Moeller. He owns the company. And they can do this for you. Looks cool, doesn't it? Okay, Yancey, did you want to move this or just leave it where it's at? Okay. Hey, David, up there. Go ahead and pull it on in. And how did you want him? Did you want him to bring it in kind of like this?
Bring it in and angle it just a little bit.
Yeah, so kind of bring your nose up to the nose of this one. Did you get a shot of all the tools we use on this today over there?
I will.
Okay. Oh, yeah, let's get the cover-up towels out of there. Here, I'll take those. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, we'll use those again.
Stop for a photo op.
Hey, we got to close the door. We got the air conditioning going on, buddies. Yeah, we are the most spoiled detail shop in the United States, so I can crank the air conditioning in here down to 70 degrees, freeze you out of here. Yes.
Right there for 1 second. Photo op.
There you go. What about the whole team? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm all sweaty. Yeah. Let me get the big camera out here.
Give it to Mom. Mom can be the camera lady.
Oh, that's not a good idea, you know.
Well, you're getting better with time.
I'll give you a quick lesson because this is actually pretty easy to use. Don, you know how to use one of these? I'll give you a quick lesson. It's really simple. First of all, you have to actually look through the viewfinder. It ain't going to show up here. Okay? And then I'm going to frame this up. Frame it up the same way. See, nothing's cut off.
Right.
Yeah. And then we'll get the whole team of people over here to stand in front of that. And then here's the button. You push it down. You'll hear a beep. That means it's focus. Push it down the rest of the way.
Just hold it, or you got to push it twice.
You push it twice.
Okay.
So yeah, because like, see it autofocus.
Okay.
Now watch. Boom. So after it beeps, push it down. Let's let Yancey do his thing here.
We'll see.
Adam. Oh yeah, you're the best, man. He always gets all the metal. He's the metal man. Hey, when you're done with that wheel over there, I got something over here for you.
I've been telling you to do it for you. Just to say we got to take it apart.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get some of that stuff to do the whole thing.
Yeah, Flint's, is that what you got? Yeah, that works, man.
Flints.
I use that on those aluminum wheels that were so We'll nice. probably give me a call, I'll bring some Zephyr over. And that Flitz Powerball has the ShamWow microfiber on their ball. That's what they use. ShamWow.
Oh yeah, what's that? It's not
Sorry.
even chrome, it's just aluminum.
Yeah, well.
They make it look like chrome.
Yeah. Yeah, what is done here, and then I go somewhere else to fix
You got
it.
the laser on it, so.
That was wet sand.
Mike, I got a really good job for you.
What's that?
If you can make my Jeep shine, you're the man.
Bring it
That
by.
thing hasn't been washed, waxed, or anything since 1980.
Since 1980?
Since 1980.
That sounds like it's due for an extreme makeover.
It's got a lot of protection on it.
That's when you have to start paying.
Protection in the way of oxidation.
Yeah,
No doors, no roof, no nothing. When it rains, cleans the inside and goes right out the rest of the
That's like
house.
Jimmy out there, man. Use this and then use like the Zephyr that has a silicone in it and it'll protect it.
So use this. The
Yeah,
stuff first.
yeah.
Where can I get this stuff?
Autogeek.
Okay, they got it.
Everything. Anything that you see in my hand here, on their website. And more.
You don't mind if I like scrape this thing?
Is that gas you scraping the hood? It's so old.
Yep, still recording. Just getting the beauty shots. This is the first time we've actually done this. I'm still mic'd. Yep.
I can't say all bad stuff now.
No, that's right.
Yes, you are still Mike. And tomorrow you'll still be Mike too.
Oh, hey, Adam's funny. I lost my camera. Oh, I give it to him. Okay.
What was the name of those stuff to put over it, the silicone stuff?
I think he said Zephyr.
You got water now?
Where are you, up here?
Yeah, man, about 2 miles down the road.
Oh, okay.
But we start out water down there.
All right, if I can get all you guys over there, in between the two cars.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Hey, I spent my summers.
Hey, Don, you want to go up front and you shoot us, I guess, this way?
I just need this from the video. so I can
Okay.
get the camera all the way out.
Okay, yeah, stay back there. Okay, where do you want us up here?
No, just over there.
Okay.
That way you're in between the two cars.
We're going to do a wrap up then? Okay. So everybody over here, you gonna say goodbye? Record this for posterity.
All right, you guys are on.
Okay. Hey, well that's it for this workshop session. We buffed out the AC Cobra, the 1949 Packard. I think if you were watching this while we did it live or now into the future as it's a recorded video up on YouTube, You can see all the steps we used to create show car finishes on both these cars, and I think the video is going to prove the point. They came in with swirls and scratches. They're leaving looking absolutely glistening. So, hey, big round of applause for all you guys who did a great job.
And you guys did 2 cars in an hour and a half.
That's right. So we really knocked this out. Hey, you get all these pictures and learn more at autogeekonline.net and autogeek.net. We'll see you again next Thursday night class. Okay, hey, let's get a beauty shot. Don?